I'm Dr. David White, the Vice Chancellor of the Troy University-Phenix City campus, and I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of Trojan Journal. We have a lot of things we're going to be talking to you about over the year. We're going to be coming to you once a month, and today what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about where we've been for the last year. In July of last year, we occupied our new Riverfront campus. And we've moved about half of the operation from the 431 campus here. Half of the students, half of the faculty, half of the staff. Our programs in nursing, social work, and business are now located on the Phenix City Riverfront, while our programs in education, counseling, and psychology remain at the 431 campus. Eventually, we will move the entire operation to this location. We think that this campus is a direct result of our desire to be part of the economic development engine of the community of Phenix City, Columbus, and Fort Benning. Once we moved here, once we made the decision to build this building, the Marriott announced that it would build next door to us. W.C. Bradley announced that it would purchase the Phenix City Plaza. We just see all kinds of great economic development coming from that. And in the last year, we have opened up our new 3rd Avenue, streetscaped beautifully, and a new parking garage, with much more to come. Also, we're excited about the fact that we've added a new program, a Master of Social Work. It's a licensure program, and it sits on top of our Bachelor of Social Work program, which we've had for over 10 years. It's important to have that kind of program because there are just lots of job opportunities for those in the field that have a master's, and particularly a master's from a licensed program. So it allows students that have our bachelor's program or another Bachelor of Social Work program to go to the next level, to make more money, to get a better job. The third thing I think that's important is that over the last year, we've really concentrated on building some great partnerships. Partnerships are critical today. You can go it alone, but you're silly if you do that. You need to find great partners. And the great thing about partners is it's a win-win for both of them. And we have some wonderful partners. We have partners that are our neighbors, the Ram Hotel Group and the Marriott that sits next to our new property. The Housing Authority, who have been a great partner for years with us. We also have great partnerships with the Phenix City and Russell County school districts. Our teachers that have graduated from our program teach there, both at the bachelor's and master's level. Our interns go there for their student teaching. We just have a wonderful, long-standing relationships with those. And it harkens back to the time when Troy University was Troy Middle School over 100 years ago, and started as a 2-year teacher school. We also have great corporate partners like Total Systems and Carmike and Aflac, and the Chambers of Commerce on both sides of the river, and Fort Benning. We're just proud to have great partners, and we hope to expand our partnership network over the next year. We also have great partners in the education arena. We have partnerships with Chattahoochee Valley Community College and with Southern Union Community College and Columbus Technical College. The fourth thing I think that's important in the next year and really going forward is becoming a greater part of the community. That is, increasing the level of community engagement. We think we have an important role to play in the economic development of Phenix City and Columbus along the Phenix City riverfront. That was a role we took on over 3 or 4 years ago, and we still think it's important. We think we have a role in the establishment of public art in our community, and we've done that initially in our building and on the Riverwalk just outside our property, but we think it's the beginning of something really incredible in our town. We think it's important to bring people together, people from our community, from the Columbus community, from the Fort Benning community. We think we are stronger as a tri-community. And so things like participating in the Regional Prosperity Initiative, a Columbus initiative that includes Harris and Russell County, participating in Together 2016, being one of the supporters of the River City Foundry, the first startup accelerator for the region in our community. We think 2016 was a wonderful year. Finally, we're excited about 2017. We think it's going to be a great year. We think there's going to be more development along the Phenix City riverfront and in Phenix City, where there's going to be some great development in downtown Columbus. And we think some exciting things on Fort Benning. So we're glad you could join us today. We hope you enjoy the program, and we hope you enjoy the episodes every month from here on out. Thank you.
From 1969 to 1971, social work faculty from the southern states met 4 times a year as part of a faculty development project of the Southern Regional Education Board. When the project ended, faculty from Alabama and Mississippi schools decided to form a conference so they could further the bonds they had developed. Objectives of the conference were to promote transfer of information among schools providing social welfare education courses in the states of Alabama and Mississippi, to provide a forum for issues and problems of regional importance for the 2 states, and to enable individual schools and faculty members to be sensitive and responsive to the changing demands of social work education. The first 3 conferences were hosted by the University of Alabama, and starting in 1975, the conference was rotated among social work programs in the 2 states. Today, representatives from all 27 CSWE accredited social work programs in Alabama and Mississippi, as well as the programs from surrounding states, participate in the annual conference. Carmike Cinemas and Troy University offered an opportunity for Carmike employees who have not yet obtained a college degree to complete 7 courses at the undergraduate level through an employee development scholarship. Upon satisfactory completion of the scholarship program, employees of Carmike going through the program received a certificate of merit. This year we hosted a celebration dinner followed by a scholarship completion ceremony, which you see here. The Center for Water Resource Economics is a comprehensive applied research center providing a one-stop research center for measuring the economic and environmental and social impacts of water resource policy and economics. This Center of Excellence, or CWRE, encourages wise management of water resources and promotes economic development. It focuses on the significant economic potential of the considerable water resources of our region while continuing to provide an environmental conservation. Annually, a conference is held in October to showcase the latest developments and initiatives. Mr. Billy Turner is the director here at Troy University who heads the program.
Well, the Center for Water Resource Economics is a concept that came from the leadership of Troy University in setting up centers of excellence, and the Center for Water Resource Economics is one of the 4 centers that was set up that was thought to be of importance to the region. The center's focus is on the economic benefits of raw water, and we focus on this region, which includes 3 states, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Our early work has been with the state of Alabama on evaluating water use and in projecting industrial growth over the next 20 years or so.
Troy University celebrated homecoming by incorporating an Olympic theme by passing the Special Olympics torch from campus to campus. Our Phenix City campus, with its many community outreach ideals, incorporated the community, alumni, students, faculty, all to participate. The torch first went down the Chattahoochee River, and of course the Red Troy rafts, with 6 alumni. Once at Powerhouse Island in Columbus, Georgia, the torch was passed to a student. Student walked the torch up the Riverwalk to the 14th Street Bridge to a faculty member. The faculty member carried the torch to Hector, our Trojan statue behind the Riverfront campus building here in Phenix City. At the celebration ceremony, both Dr. White and our Vice Chancellor and Mayor Eddie Lowe provided remarks in regards to community partnership and working together. festival series was created to bring light to our riverfront development here in Phenix City. With the help of W.C. Bradley, the Real Estate Division, Troy University, Phenix City Economic Development, and Parks and Recreation all formed the planning committee to produce 4 fall festivals with the help of many community leaders and businesses. The festivals were all free to the public and varied in activities from drone races, Motown bands, street dances, to roller derby, mountain bike races, and big wheel courses. Check out PCRiverfrontSeries.com for more information as we explore opportunities to develop this festival series in the coming new year. Educator Day on the River is a regional partnership between Phenix City, Russell County, and Muskogee County. Participation between the 2 states allows for fantastic fellowship with 2 days of professional development, followed by a luncheon and adventurous fun. The theme of the professional development varies each year. For 2016, the theme was Science and Math on the River. 2017, the theme is tentatively set for Art and Music on the River. All lectures incorporate elements within our local area, such as the Chattahoochee River. On the 3rd day, the luncheon is held on the 14th Street pedestrian bridge to symbolize the bridging between our 2 great states. Here at Troy University, we wanted to ensure our students and alumni could experience school spirit locally within the community, and what better way to have Red Troy boats at Whitewater Express. It just adds to the experience for our Trojans. This is also why we planned our employee team building day around rafting down the river in our Troy Red boats.
It's really an offshoot of the Center for Creativity and Entrepreneurship at Columbus Makes It. We held a startup weekend last April and found that there really was an interest in the community to have an opportunity for entrepreneurs to come out and practice their entrepreneurial skills and see what they could do. After doing that, we found that there was a good demand and that people were interested, and not only were entrepreneurs interested, but that there were potential investors interested as well. We got a lot of great feedback from the initial batch. We ran an 8-week prototype, kind of a proof of principle to understand, what did we not know about the environment and the ecosystem, because it does take so many different types of skill sets to do something like this. We brought 8 companies through, and we had a couple of them pivot and change from their initial idea to what the idea that they finally launched on live launch. A couple of them have continued on and are actually, one of the people quit his regular job and is now pursuing his passion full time. We had one of the companies get angel funding, which is really exciting because it's one of the companies that we predicted if it were elsewhere, like in Silicon Valley or in Boston or somewhere like that, investors would be clamoring to get involved, and we actually had that happen, which was a delightful surprise, and it bodes well for this environment. So Startup Weekend is a global phenomenon. It started happening several years ago, and it's sponsored by Google for Entrepreneurs and a company called Techstars. And basically, every weekend throughout the year, there is a Startup Weekend happening somewhere around the globe. We happen to have our weekend, this last one in November, coinciding with the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And what happens is people go and they look on Eventbrite or they Google and say, where's the nearest Startup Weekend? We'll advertise it on social media and put it out there, let people know. But basically, you pay a fee to come, and on Friday nights, people will come as strangers. We know probably half of the people that come because we know the community, but the other half are complete strangers. They're people that have come from as far as Washington, D.C. We've had folks fly in from Tampa, Kentucky, other places. It's actually a regional draw, which was kind of fun and surprising for us to learn. But Friday nights, everybody gets together and does a little real networking. We introduce everybody, kind of loosen everybody up and do some brainstorming. We do this thing called a pitch fire, which everybody pitches a 1-minute idea. And then after that 1-minute idea, everybody goes around and kind of multi-votes for their favorite ideas. And then we choose the top 7 or 8 ideas that then they come back and they give a 3-minute version to elaborate on what their idea is. And then people decide to choose teams. As people say, hey, maybe I'm a pharmaceutical person and I need a web developer or a designer, or I need a marketing person or a lawyer or an accountant. And oddly enough, we'll have those kinds of people in the room, and then people will join teams, and then they'll work on those ideas over the course of the weekend. So in 54 hours, we'll actually go through iterating and learning about how to create a startup company, go through that process of testing the market, talking out and getting out of the building and going and talking to real customers to find out, does anybody care? Is this something that anybody would want? And then we do some preparation and education about how to actually present that idea, so that on Sunday afternoon we have like our own miniature Shark Tank, but it's with no sharks. It's really much like a guppy tank, and everybody's encouraging, and it's a great place to learn and create cool ideas. The winner of our last Startup Weekend actually ended up, the team got won airline tickets to go anywhere in the world to meet with angels and other mentors that can help them with their startup idea and bring them to the world. If you're interested in becoming a participant or an applicant or a mentor at River City Foundry, you can go to rivercityfoundry.com, and we have an application with a couple of simple questions to fill out that you can let us know what your skills and interests are. We're always looking for folks that have skills in starting businesses, in trademark law, copyright law, accounting, best practices, and marketing and design. We have a lot of folks that have great ideas that they just don't know how to go about bringing them to fruition, and we need lots of help. It takes 7 to 8 different kinds of skill sets to bring a modern business to market. And typically the entrepreneurs might have 2 or 3 of those skill sets, but they won't have all the ones they need. So we're really reaching out to the community to get involved and help build these companies.
Our very good friend in China, in Xi'an, China, Hubao Zhu, has been very generous to Troy University. We have many pieces of art that are now present on all of our campuses, including the Trojan statue to my rear. And about a year and a half ago, I was in Xi'an and saw the original version of the Phoenix. It was located in a very exclusive resort for the super wealthy in China and also the party people. And I thought, what an appropriate piece. And so through conversation with Hu, we decided that it would be a wonderful gift to the people of Phenix City and Columbus for it to sit on the banks of the Chattahoochee River. And so that's the genesis of it. Of course, the Phoenix is reflective of the rebirth or rising from the ashes of the mythical bird, which is a metaphor, I think, for what's happening right here in this community with the rebirth of this entire area. And it started through collaboration with the city fathers and has somewhat taken on a life of its own. We think it's very healthy for Phenix City and Columbus, and we wanted to bring this version of the Phoenix as a tribute to the people here and as a gift to the people. So we hope the residents of both communities will appreciate it, because it's truly here that the cultures converge, where East meets West, right here in Phenix City. Actually, it's always fun to come to Phenix City. Generally when we come, especially in recent times, we have come celebrating different occasions, and as I come and enjoy the energy and the excitement of this community, I'm always inspired, and so I thank you for that. I bring you greetings too from the gentleman that you see here, Hu Baozu. He was here this past weekend. His health is not good, and so his doctors insisted that he go back to China, but he certainly wanted to be here. He's here in spirit, and what a generous man he has been to our university. On Friday, we had a remarkable ceremony during which we dedicated a cultural arts park, and it was there that we literally introduced to the state of Alabama and to this country 200 terracotta warriors. Those who are familiar with terracotta warriors know that they were found about 40 years ago, but they were actually made about 2,200 years ago and surround the burial site of an emperor, actually the emperor who brought China together. And so Hu Baozu has given us so many pieces of sculpture, including, I might add, the Trojan warrior, and some of you were with us in July of 2015 when we literally unveiled that and introduced it to the community. But his generosity has just has gone so far, I think, and it's because of his love for this growing partnership between China and the United States. And I find that encouraging. About 18 months ago, I was in China, and he took me to a resort, actually, that's where this photograph was taken. And as we walked through these beautiful grounds, he carried me to the spot with where the Phoenix stands. And that's where this photograph was taken. And as we talked about this partnership that we share with Phenix City and Columbus as one, and I always love the way the mayor characterizes that. That river is not a divider. It literally is a geographic presence that brings the people together and doesn't divide. And so when Hu Baozu and I talked about this beautiful piece, we talked about how appropriate it would be for it to stand somewhere here on the banks of this river. And I thought that Representative Blackshear said it well. You know, it's literally a metaphor, and this Phoenix represents a metaphor of the rebirth, because you carry this story back several years ago, and it's really a tribute to the leadership of this community when you began looking at this valuable property and realized that it was underutilized. But steps had to be taken to plant that seed that now has germinated, and wonderful things are happening. And so I really pay tribute to those people who have had the vision and continue to have the vision, and that's all of you and some others who couldn't be here today. It was Henry David Thoreau who made the comment that it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see that counts. And that's what all of this is testimony for and to, and that is what you see. What's the future of this great community? And also, one thing that we have become, and I appreciate the characterization of Troy University having evolved. It was not something that we said we were going to be, it just evolved over time, and that is Alabama's International University. We recognize the importance of our graduates being globally competitive, and I don't think you can be globally competitive unless you're globally aware. And so we began 25 years ago bringing the world to Alabama and carrying the world, or Troy University, to the world. And it has just happened. And I think that's the world of the future. That's the world that we'll live in. And we have to be an integral part of that. And so to the people of Phenix City and to the people of Columbus as one, truly this may be the spot where East meets West. Where East meets West. And we often refer to Troy University as the spot where East meets West, where two cultures converge and become one. And that's really what life is about: relationships, building relationships, and fostering relationships. And that's what Hubazu wanted us to do through this gift. And so to the people of the community, to you and those you represent, please know that it's given in partnership and it's given in love. Thank you.